You're successful. You've built an impressive career, but there's this thing that follows you from job to job, company to company, and role to role. It's not about this project or that presentation. It's deeper than that. It's constant and it's chronic. It's called career anxiety. And if you're a Black woman leader trying to move into the executive suite, it's silently sabotaging you. Hi, I'm Dr. Nicole Bryan, and in this video, I'm breaking down what career anxiety is, how to recognize it if you have it, why it's so damaging to your leadership trajectory, and most importantly, what you can start doing about it today. So let's dive in. So, what is career anxiety? Career anxiety is a persistent worry or fear related to your professional life and your career progression. And I want to be clear about this. It is not about job stress. We all know job stress. That's when you have a high stakes presentation coming up and you're anxious about that. Or maybe you're working on a big project and you're worried whether it'll hit the mark. But once that situation is over, your stress goes away. Career anxiety is different. It's not tied to one project or one role or one situation. It's comprehensive. It's constant. It follows you from job to job, from company to company, from stage to stage of your career. And it shows up in really, really specific ways. So, some common symptoms you might be experiencing: constant self doubt. Maybe you're confident in other areas of your life, but when it comes to your career, you're always second guessing yourself. Imposter syndrome. You feel like you're faking it, like you don't know enough to be in the room. Or fear of failure or fear of success. Yes, you can actually have both. You're either terrified you're about to fail or you're scared of what will happen if you actually succeed. And here's what makes career anxiety so difficult, so hard to deal with. It's not talked about. I don't see it on social media. I don't hear about it in company conversations. I don't even hear most executive coaches talking about it, but I see it all the time with my clients, especially Black women trying to advance into senior leadership. And because it's not talked about, it goes unchecked and it's costing you. The first sign is that you're constantly feeling self-doubt and second guessing your decisions. You're never confident in the career decisions that you make. Should I take this role? Should I stay? Should I go? You can't trust your own judgment. The second sign is avoiding networking or high visibility opportunities. I had a client who's an incredible speaker. People constantly invite her to present to other teams about what she's accomplished, and she's always turns them down. Not because she's an introvert and wants to conserve energy, but because the anxiety is so debilitating that she can't even think about saying yes. A third sign is perfectionism or over preparation. Now, in and of itself, being a perfectionist or over preparing isn't a problem. But when it prevents you from accomplishing what you need to accomplish, when it takes away from you being the best leader that you can be, that's career anxiety. A fourth sign is having difficulty talking about your achievements or self promoting. Again, if you're an introvert, you cringe at the idea of self promotion. But ask yourself, why are you cringing? Is it because you don't think self promotion works? Or is it because you're afraid of being judged or being seen as arrogant or being misunderstood? If it's the latter, that's career anxiety. And here's the thing: if you've experienced any of these throughout your entire career, not just right now, but consistently over years, you might be dealing with career anxiety. Now, as Black women, career anxiety hits us especially hard. Why? Because we already have unique challenges in corporate spaces. We're naturally more reserved. We're more conservative in how we show up. And because of that, we're already easily overlooked for opportunities, for recognition, and for promotions. So when you add career anxiety on top of that, it's a compounding effect. You're already fighting to be seen. And now you're also battling this internal voice that's telling you, I'm not ready. I don't belong here. What if I fail? What if they find out I don't know everything? And that internal battle It's exhausting. It shows up in your decision making. It makes you risk averse. It keeps you from stepping outside of your comfort zone. And here's the worst part: other people can see it. Maybe they can't see that you're anxious, but they see the outcomes or the lack of outcomes because of that anxiousness. Going back to my client who turns down speaking opportunities, people around the organization and in her industry notice that she's not accepting invitations, and they interpret it in all kinds of ways. Oh, she's not a team player. Oh, she's hoarding information. She thinks she's too good for us. Maybe she's not leadership material. None of these are true, but that's how it gets interpreted. And that's how career anxiety starts to block you, even when other people don't know that's what you're dealing with. So, what happens when career anxiety goes unchecked? Well, it leads to self sabotage. You're battling your environment. That's a given. Every workplace has challenges, but when you're also carrying career anxiety around with you, you're battling yourself too. And that's a fight that you can't win. So here's the good news: career anxiety is fixable. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say you can fix it in a day or in a week or even in a month. If you've been dealing with career anxiety for years, it's going to take time to address. But there are things you can start doing today that will help you. The first thing you can start doing is identifying your triggers. Start paying closer attention to when and how your anxiety levels spike. For some of my clients, the trigger is a lack of clarity. When they have a plan, a roadmap for where they're going and how they're going to get there, their anxiety goes down. It becomes low. But when they don't have that, their anxiety is off the charts. For others, the trigger is visibility. Anytime they have to be in front of people, their anxiety spikes. For you, it might be something different, but you need to know what your triggers are, because once you know, you can start managing them. The second step you can take is to use positive self-talk and reframing. I'll admit that as a therapist, I didn't have a lot of confidence in self talk when I first started practicing it, but I've used it. My clients have used it, and it definitely works. When you find yourself in a moment when your career anxiety is really high, you can use positive self talk to regulate yourself, to self soothe, to get through that moment. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as, I am good. I love my career. I'm confident I will find my next role. For me, the other day, my positive self talk was, I am not having a good day, but tomorrow is going to be better. And that got me through the day. Every time my mind was racing, I repeated it, and the next day was better. That's the power of reframing. The third step that you can take is set small, achievable goals to build your confidence. Gradually increase your exposure to anxiety inducing situations. Going back to my client who doesn't like speaking in front of groups, if she wanted to start addressing her career anxiety, she could accept an invitation to speak to a small group, or she could have a one-on-one conversation with a leader and explain what her team has accomplished. That's a small step. And then gradually, she increases the number of acceptances, or she increases the size of the group, or the visibility of the opportunity. And you can do the same thing. Be strategic about what you say yes to, and then gradually give yourself more exposure. Small wins build confidence over time, and confidence quiets the anxiety that you experience. So, to recap, if you're dealing with career anxiety, here's what you can do today. The first thing is understand your triggers and practice mindfulness to manage your thoughts. The second is to use positive self talk and reframing to challenge the negative beliefs that live in your head. The third is to set small, achievable goals to gradually build your confidence, because career anxiety is definitely a thing, and it's chronic and it's damaging, but it doesn't have to define you or your career. If this resonated with you today, drop a heart in the comments and let me know. And also tell me, have you ever experienced career anxiety, and what did it look like for you? What did it feel like for you? If you want more strategies like this for leading with confidence, then definitely click the subscribe button because I drop a new video every week on Thursday at 7 a.m. And until next week, Lady Leader, be good.